Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWA practice problem 6.10. So looking at this one, there's a hint that says do the bosses and then the cuts, and that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're going to focus on this boss for this cylinder right here, and then we're going to make those two cuts, and then we'll add these little ears on in last. Okay. So we'll start with the top plane. Make a big giant circle, and it looks like, let me just go back over here. Okay, looking at this, we have the big giant circle is right here. So that's a diameter of 80. The smaller circle will appear right here with a diameter of 55. So we've got 80. And we'll try to extrude in the same way as the picture, the way it's oriented. It looks like it extrudes down. So we'll go ahead and extrude down 130. All right, so there's the first one. And then the next one, the circle is going in the front plane. To help make sure the circle is centered, I'm going to make a center line between the midpoints of the top and the bottom. So I can draw the center of the circle from there, which had a diameter of 55. And the distance from the center of that circle down to the bottom, distance from the center of the circle down to the bottom is 40. Okay, so then we will do an extrusion. This one will be a mid-plane extrusion, and it will be 120, looks like. All right, so let's go ahead and do the cuts. Now we have to cut them in the right order. This cut is all the way through, as we can see from this picture. It goes all the way through. So we'll cut that first, and then when we do the cut for this top hole, then we're only going to cut down to this hole. So we're going to do an up to next extruded cut. So let's do this circle first. Now we want to get the center of this circle, so we can highlight over this circle right here to wake up the center. So we can click on it, and it's a diameter of 40. Then we'll do the cut, and we can do up to next, or we can just do through all. What the heck, let's do both directions. Lots of options there. All right, and then we'll do the top one. Start a sketch. The center is right at the origin. The top one has a diameter of 40, and we're going to do the cut, right click up to next. And you get a little preview about this shape right here where the cut is going to end. And that's good, because if you look at, I'm going to finish the cut. If you look over here, that's the kind of shape we're getting when this cut hits this cut right here. All right, so as long as we're over here, let's look at our ears. We're just going to make one of them and then mirror it about the right plane to get this one. So one of the things we're going to do here is we're going to make this shape go into this solid a little bit, because we're going to be drawing this profile here, and we need that profile to go in so that when we do a mid-plane extrusion, that we actually are hitting the solid. It's going all the way up to the solid in both directions. Otherwise we might come off of the solid just a little bit. So that's one way of handling it. Another way is to just do the mid-plane extrusion, and then you'll have a little gap between here and the cylinder. and then you can do another extrusion that goes up to that cylinder's surface. So there may be a couple of ways of handling it. I think this way is maybe that we're going to do it is it takes less steps, even though it feels a little bit more hacky. But basically, yeah, we're going to draw a profile that looks something like this. And we'll go ahead and include this circle as well, because it doesn't really, that cut doesn't interact with other cuts like it was over here. All right, so let's get started with that. Let me make sure we're in isometric view, and we want to be drawing in the front plane. We'll draw our ear over here. Okay, so enter line mode. We'll start a little bit in, go out a certain distance, out and back in, so we can switch over to drawing an arc. And then we'll go along this line here and back up. Okay, so that's the basic what's going on there. Now, one of the things we're going to want to make sure is that these two lines here are symmetric, and we can maybe draw a center line and then make them symmetric about that center line when we draw the angle between them, because what's going to happen is if we start with the angle between these, they don't have to be symmetric to the horizontal. Another way we could maybe think about doing that is to make sure that these 2 points are vertical to each other. So let's see what happens there. And it looks like that is going to make these symmetric across the horizontal, because these ones are vertical to each other. Okay, let's start dimensioning. It looks like the distance from the center, I guess we need a center line, or at least it'll help. So the distance from the center to this center is 55. We probably can not go quite as far in. And then this arc here has a radius of 14. All right. And then also there's the distance from the center here up to the top, which looks like it is 35. Okay, so that's looking more defined. The only thing that we can modify is this, how far it goes into the cylinder. And we can go maybe this far into the cylinder. That should probably do. We can double check afterwards. But let's do one more thing, which is to create this circle hole. So that's going to have a diameter of 18. And then we can make our extrusion, and it'll just select everything but that center circle. It's going to be 15 for the width, and we can just maybe do a quick double check. It looks like it's going to go into that cylinder and not into this hole either as well. So that's going to be perfectly flush up against the cylinder side. So we'll hit enter. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. All right, the last thing is to take that and mirror it. Oops, let me select this again. Mirror it about the right plane and hit enter, and now we have 2 ears. Okay, so our final volume here is 532827. 872. 532872. Now, unfortunately, it's not quite exactly the same, 532863, but it's pretty close, and sometimes that happens when you're doing these CSWA practice problems. You'll get something close but not exact, and I think this is one of the cases where I'm pretty sure we did everything correct. I've done this problem a few times and always get the same volume that I have gotten. So I think this volume looks good, and this volume is maybe off a little bit. Maybe there was something else about this, or just wasn't written down correctly. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. If you got the volume that I got, please let me know. If you ended up getting this volume right here, please tell me how in the comments. And if you are looking for something more professional, maybe Design with Roozbe is the YouTube channel that you want to check out. Maybe he'll solve the mystery of this volume. The guy does an awesome job breaking down each practice problem. So take care and keep studying.